Rather large. Welcome back to Cossy's Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. We are back again 5 p.m. with a lot to talk about this afternoon, this evening. Obviously, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in all parts of the world. We're gonna be speaking about Alexander Isak. We're gonna be speaking Thomas Partey and a couple of other players that have actually been attacked after the Liverpool game. And I'll give you my opinion on that. But the most important thing is Renato Sanchez and his interview. He's actually come out and said that the connection he has with his agent, the talk they've had, at least for now, he knows that there are two clubs interested in him in January, and says he's ready for a move, and if any offers come in, they will decide on what it's going to be. The two clubs are AC Milan and Arsenal, and of course I spoke about AC Milan. I've spoken about Arsenal linked with Renato as well. So probably we'll have a lot to talk about that. But of course, a couple of other things also to discuss. Xhaka back in training. I mean, it's something good because the January transfer window they're coming, and we might not have a big budget. Although I've also seen that Roma want to go for Granit Xhaka in January. Absolute scenes in there. We could be going for a Xhaka deja vu, a Xhaka Roma deja vu. Probably I'll dive into that a little bit. And as well, Vlahovic is back on the radar, as well as Alexander Isak. Of course, today it's more like Isak is the priority, but Vlahovic, it's more like an excitement. Of course, over the weekend he did score a brace against AC Milan, and everyone is excited. Everyone is excited about Alexander Isak, and why not? I'm gonna ask you to do a big favor. Subscribe to the channel, guys, and make sure you turn on the notification bell so that you don't miss any of the updates that I actually put out. I want to be at 100,000 subscribers next year. I don't know if we can do that, but at the moment we're at 34,000 subscribers. So probably if we can run very fast to 100,000 subscribers, next year, probably probably by the end, it doesn't matter, as long as next year we can get to 100,000, it will really mean a lot to me. So we're gonna be discussing a lot, guys. Like I said, the Liverpool game, our players being attacked, Jesse Lingard, and a couple of other things. Of course, I need your reaction, I need your thoughts on what you're gonna be discussing down in the comments below. And of course, welcome back from the weekend. It wasn't an easy one. If you're an Arsenal fan, it's look, it's always difficult when your club loses a game. It's always very difficult, right? But it happens. But anyway, let's get to it, because I'm gonna start off with the Liverpool game where our players have been attacked. Now, I'll start off with Thomas Partey and Nuno Tavares, and then the likes of Tomiyasu. Look, a couple of our players, a couple of actually our fans, which is the embarrassing thing, is that the fan base that is attacking our players is an Arsenal fan base. Arsenal fans are attacking their own players in a game. They're calling it very disappointing. They're calling it back to normal settings, things like that. And of course, I've seen ridiculous people saying that Partey is actually cheating his age. Partey is not actually that is not his age, because he was overpowered by Liverpool. Now I'm gonna say this, people. Yes, we were overpowered in the second half, and of course Mikel spoke about it in his press conference, and he said it wasn't an easy game. It was not a game where we were at the same level as our opponent, and of course that much we know, that much is true. We were not at the same level as Liverpool. We are not yet there. It might take us around 2-3 years to actually start thinking of competing at the Anfield on the same level as they are. At this moment, we are not at that level. Honestly, we are not at that level, and we shouldn't deceive ourselves. For me, it's ridiculous that an Arsenal fan praises their team for 10 consecutive weeks, for 8 consecutive weeks, and then they just come out. They just come up with with an excuse of a Liverpool defeat to troll their own players. It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting. So for me, saying Partey was overpowered. Look, it's not Partey's fault that he's not having three senior midfielders alongside him in the midfield. It's not Partey's fault, right? Look at that Liverpool, midfield. They had Oxlade-Chamberlain. He's 29. They had Thiago, he's 29, and they had Fabinho, who's around 26, 27, or 28, around there. Those are three very experienced midfielders that Partey was fighting against. And of course, you did see Albert Sambi get exposed because he lacks the experience, and he was outdone. Absolutely, that's the word. He was outdone by the midfielders, by the Liverpool midfielders. So Partey, look, the fact that we are saying and sitting here and having this conversation as Arsenal fans, the Partey is not good enough, and the Partey actually cheated his age is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. When Nuno as well, when we were selecting our predicted 11s, you said Nuno starts over Tierney. Guys were excited. And I know the reason. Like I say, Tierney should start, or if not that, we play a back five where Tierney and Nuno play together. And maybe people say, no, Cossy, Tierney has been dreadful this season, has not had a very, very good start. Let's play Nuno Tavares. And I said, fine. If you want Nuno, go for Nuno. I'm sticking with Tierney. And what happened is Nuno got exposed as a young player. He was bound to. It was always going to happen, right? And look, so guys, look, I'm not going to dive into that. We said enough in the match reaction, and thanks everybody who watched the match reaction. But if anyone thinks that Arsenal is not good enough, if anyone thinks our players are not good enough because of the Liverpool game, you are a disgrace. That's it. You're a disgrace. Judge us against sides that we are at the same level with. Not Liverpool. Liverpool are far away, absolutely far away from where Arsenal are. We might get there. We want to get there, but at the moment, we are not there. That's the truth. We want to get there, but at the moment, we are not at the same level at Liverpool. So stop, abusing our players. Stop trolling your own players. Because I guess if we win against Newcastle, what are you gonna say? If we win against United, probably, what are you going to say? So let's stop, all that crap. Let's stop all that nonsense of trolling our own players and, focus on the next game. Now, guys, the big story that I want to talk to you about is Renato Sanchez. Yeah, that's the big story that I would love to talk to you about. Renato Sanchez, actually, it's so surprising. I'm going to talk about this. It's very surprising because Renato has actually come out and said he's talked to his agent and he knows the clubs that are interested in him, and they'll decide when an offer comes in. So this is what actually he said. This is what actually he said, because I really want to. I want to get the quote. So he says, today I feel ready. I understand football better. I have more experience, and I know what to do. Play in this kind of club, and the change, and that changes everything. He totally equipped. Maybe Milan and Arsenal are interested, but I don't know. I spoke with my agent. I know which clubs are calling and which are not, but I can't tell at the moment. But I know I'm ready. And if offers come in, I'll find out what's best for me. Right. So there we go. I mean, that's a big statement. That's a very, very big statement for me. As a person who's been tracking this story for the last 7 days, last week, I spoke much about Renato Sanchez. We spoke about the AC Milan bid, and we spoke about the fact that Lee Equip were actually saying that Arsenal were actually going to put in their bid, if you still remember. Now, they had an interview. With Renato Sanchez, and this is what the player said. He said, today I feel ready. I understand football better. I have more experience. I know what to do to play in the in this kind of clubs, and that changes everything. He totally equipped. Maybe Milan and Arsenal are interested. I spoke with my agent. I know which clubs are calling and which not, and I can't tell now, but I know I'm ready. If any offers come in, I'll find out what's best for me. So look, that's a huge story. This is a huge story, very, very huge, by the way, very, very huge update. First and foremost, now we know which clubs are interested in Renato. Of course, we knew right from the start. Barcelona Barcelona there, not mentioned by Renato Sanchez. Of course, the rumor is that Barcelona wanted to take him in the summer, and terms were agreed. That is the rumor. That is the story. But at the moment, actually, the player doesn't acknowledge the presence of Barcelona. He says two clubs that he knows of, AC Milan and Arsenal. Those are the two clubs that he actually knows, and those are the two clubs that actually are interested in taking him away from Lille. And he says, actually, which is very interesting there, that he's ready for the next step. He's ready for the challenge. What I do not understand is, professionally as a footballer, I would expect words like, I'm happy here, and probably, of course, those are the words I would expect. I'm here, I'm happy here, I see my future at Leo and things like that. Because it's more, it's something, it's someone a little bit disrespectful when the player comes in, and when the player comes out and just says, you know what, Club ABCD is interested. I think I could go there. I feel like maybe that is my next move. I feel like it is very disrespectful, very disrespectful, very disrespectful, and I wouldn't buy into it. And I don't support players coming out and saying that. Really, it's so disrespectful to the club and the owners. But look. Again, to think about Renato and think about this whole situation, the players come out unspoken. Of course, asked by the media. We know that players always have those regular interviews in France. I always see regular interviews actually during match intervals in the French League One, like at halftime. Probably one or two players are asked about their feelings and reaction to the game at halftime, and probably and then at full time as well. So let's get into the Renato Sanchez deal, right? Let's get into the Renato Sanchez deal. The player was had personal terms negotiated with Barcelona in the summer. Barca at the moment are out of the deal. We know their financial predicament. They find themselves in. They're out of the deal. It's over, right? And unless it's in the summer, at the moment, Barcelona are not in that bracket that you think are going to be troubling Arsenal to try to sign Renato Sanchez. They're not in there, and that one I'm very sure. I'm sure they won't be troubling us. They won't be disturbing us, in that regard. Now, AC Milan and Arsenal look like the two clubs that will be fighting and battling it out for Renato Sanchez and his signature. Look, let's assess AC Milan first, because the player says AC Milan and Arsenal are interested. I am ready for the next move. I've got to learn what it takes to play for these kind of clubs, and that is what is important. So look, AC at the moment, they want to win the title. I don't know how serious their quest is, because again, it goes down to how serious you are and everything like that. They lost their last game to Fiorentina, something that I feel like maybe came as a by the way. 4-3 against Fiorentina. Absolutely mad, because they've been really doing well in the league. But my problem with them is always the defensive part. But they know they are going to lose Cossy, and I think that is where it comes in. That's where they want to take action before it becomes worse. They know they are going to lose Frank Cossy in the January transfer window to AFCON in January, but they could also lose him in the January transfer window. Arsenal is interested. United is interested. Actually, they've got to be a little bit more careful, because now that United have sacked Solskjaer, I don't feel like, and we all know actually that McTominay and Fred are not going to be playing in that midfield anymore. It's not going to be their midfield. They're not going to be running the show in the midfield anymore, right? So the fact that United will need a CDM or at least a decent CM. Pogba is out, and McTominay is shit, and Fred is shit as well. They need to get in at least 2 players or one to play with Donny van der Beek in that area. So whether it's Carrick, whether it's Fletcher, whether it's Pochettino, whether it's Zidane or Ralf Rangnick, any of them is going to ask for a midfielder. And I feel like if you look at through close range, because they've been linked with Cossy before, that power, they just need that powerful CDM that can actually do things better. It's something what the Arsenal need, all right? It's something that Arsenal need. We need someone that either provides that power, that strength in the midfield alongside Thomas Partey, or someone who actually introduces the brilliance, dribbling, ball carriage and things like that, box to box better. Yes, Partey does it well, but I feel like Renato actually does it better when it comes to box to box. We lack a decent midfielder next to Thomas Partey, and I've said this right from the summer. The Arsenal made a big mistake by saying Xhaka should stay. Look, Renato actually has more high chances of being where Granit Xhaka is, right? In the sick bay, because he's another fanatic of the sick bay. He loves the sick bay. He's always injured and things like that. He's very, very injury prone. But what Renato could give us, for example, let's talk about the Liverpool game, guys, and let's see what went wrong in that game and how Renato Sanchez would actually improve our game. Emile Smith-Rowe was absolutely dead in that game. Saka was also dead in that game. So was Aubameyang. 3 players dead in a game. 3 players dead in a game, and we wanted to win that game. For me, anything, because our problem was the outlets. I spoke about that in the match preview, and I said, when you soak up the pressure against Liverpool, you need good outlets. You need players that are either going to dribble through the midfield. We tried to do that, and we lost the ball, which actually created the short counter-attacks that Mikel Arteta was talking about. Because whenever we got the ball back, we lost it before we reached the center line. So you need players that have the courage and are born to do that. Renato is born to do that, and that's one of the good things he has. He can carry that ball from his own area to the opponent's area. I feel like we need someone. Liverpool were exposable and are exposable without the likes of Keita, without the likes of Jadon Henderson. They are exposable, but we lacked a player that just does that. Yes, Lokonga tried to do, but he failed. He's young, guys. He's still young. Partey literally didn't have any support. It's one game that I've seen Partey struggle, not because he's not good enough, but because he's lacking the support. You're looking at his body shape. You're looking at his communication, saying, "Play with me. Try to play with me," but the ball couldn't actually reach him. You saw what Nuno was trying to do. Instead of passing the ball forward, he's actually trying to play it safe, and it was never safe. It's never safe when you're playing Liverpool. So look, if we got a player like Renato Sanchez, we dribble more. We get a player who dribbles more and better than Thomas Partey. So that means you have 2 central midfielders. I don't care if we don't have CDM, because I feel like Partey can do it. So you have 2 central midfielders that have the responsibility and can actually defend the back 4, but also go ahead and create some chances. That is our problem. Smith-Rowe is not going to create our chances throughout the season. Saka is not going to create our chances throughout the season. And Lacazette is not going to create for you chances throughout the season. These 2, Saka and ESR, are young, but Lacazette, that is not his speciality. Absolutely. He's doing well there. He's playing well, but that is not his area of speciality. He's going to struggle at some point in time. Right? So that's the good thing with Renato. And I don't get it. Why the player and his scam are so disrespectful to Lille Metropo, just coming out and saying and speaking all this kind of crap. If any clubs club offers come in, we will see what to do. But at the moment, Arsenal and AC Milan are interested. It's ridiculous for me. absolutely ridiculous. But it's a battle that makes sense. And up until this point, I feel like Arsenal genuinely, right? And look, now I know Arsenal genuinely want Renato Sanchez. That's the truth. Arsenal genuinely want Renato Sanchez. It's a no point to hide, and now it is open because the players come out and said Arsenal, AC Milan are interested in my services. So there is nothing more to hide, right? Arsenal want the player. The question is, when are we gonna bid? Because Le Equipe is saying that AC Milan actually did put in their bid. The bid has not been considered. It has not been accepted yet. But you never know. And for me, that is what I don't understand. If we want the player, like we are claiming, and already now the player knows of our interest, can Renato Sanchez turn down Arsenal? No. Honestly, no. No. Right? Yes, they won the league with Lille Metropole beating PSG to it last season. They're in the Champions League, but I don't see how, unless it's not serious, Renato Sanchez, I don't see how Renato Sanchez is looking at Lille and is like, I'm going to win the Champions League with Lille Metropole. Or how he says, I'm going to win another league title with Lille Metropole. Of course, he knows if it comes to Arsenal, he's not actually winning the league, right? He knows it. If it comes to Arsenal, he's not winning the league even in the next 3 seasons. No, that is out of the picture. But let me say this, guys. Let me say this. Allow me to say this. Renato has a better career at Arsenal than at AC Milan and Lille combined. Now, this is not me being a very big Arsenal fan, but look, he comes to Arsenal. He's 24. He comes to Arsenal. He still has a chance to leave the club for another big club, because again, Arsenal has never been a ceiling for any player. Never. Even when we were so good during the likes of Dennis Bergkamp, Henry Thierry, they could leave for Barcelona, right? So Arsenal has never been that. The sound is cracking, really? I hope it's better. I hope it's better. Walter, someone said my sound is cracking. I hope it's better. If my sound is okay, please let me know in the comments box. Let me know in the comment box if my sound is fine. If my sound is fine. Massively, I would massively appreciate that. Anu, I know you're on. Anu, I know you're on. Let me know if the sound is fine, right? But let me say this, guys. So with Renato, it's now a point of deciding what kind of career he wants. Lot of echo. I don't know what's wrong. Lots of echo. What's wrong? I mean, I can't tell. Is it too high? Better? All right. So sorry for that. I mean, it's a one-man show. I mean, I'm the technician. I'm also the I also prepare the show. I hope the sound is a little bit better now. If it's better, it's cool now. Right. Thank you so much, Rajab. Thank you so much, Rajab. So, guys, like I was saying, for me, Renato needs to think and think well. At his age, 24, he's coming to the Premier League. I feel like he's already there because he was a star at Benfica, and then he goes to Bayern. You can see how much he's rated. He's a very, very good player, by the way. After the Euros, I think that was Euro. Was it Euro 2018? Was it 20? No, not 2018. I think 2016, right? I think 2016 when he actually broke through, right? Thank you so much, Anu. When he actually broke through, that was the Euros, right? When he broke through, he had a very, very fantastic season with Benfica, and then he moved over to Bayern Munich. Look, every one of us thought that was going to be his that was going to be his start, right? Because Bayern at that time really took in so many young players. The likes of Kimmich, had gone there by the time, and you can see where Kimmich is at the moment. So Renato going to Germany at Bayern, that's a big move. That's a very, very big move. Unfortunately, it doesn't work out. It didn't work out. And then, he's alone up and here, comes to Swansea, and then he doesn't actually impress for me in the Premier League. He goes to Lille Metropole, and he's done well, right? He's one of those few players that I think have are lucky to have to get a second chance. Very, very lucky to get a second chance. So he gets a second chance. He takes it, he uses it, and you've seen him for Portugal. Brilliant. We've seen him for Lille. If you watch the French league, at least for 1 or 2 games, he's also very, very brilliant there. It's time to take the next step in his career. Arsenal need him. Honestly, I'll speak about why we badly need Renato, but he needs us too, right? For me, AC Milan at the moment, if you look at the two clubs, which project would you join? At the moment, yes, AC have a project running, but I don't look at AC Milan as having more advantages than Arsenal. One, we can give him the wages he wants. I don't think he's going to ask for 200k per week, so we can give him the wages he wants. 2, we are giving him Premier League football. That is it, right? We're giving him Premier League football. No player doesn't want to play in the Premier League. And for me, Renato, if he comes to the Premier League, he does well. He has a chance to re-sign with Bayern. He has a chance to go anywhere if he feels like Arsenal is not his ceiling. So the better thing to do for me, if I were Renato, I sign for Arsenal. Sign my 4 years. I'm 24. When I'm 28, I look at, I assess, I look at the project the Arsenal looking at. If the project is actually not good, if the project's not good enough, I leave. If the project is actually working out, probably the next 4 years, Arsenal should be thinking about winning and competing for major silverware. That is where we should be. Winning and competing for major silverware. So Renato, for me, there is no reason why we lose Renato to AC Milan. We can win that battle. It's gonna be around 30 million. It's gonna be around 35 million pounds. Arsenal can afford to pay that money, even in the January transfer window. We can afford to pay that because we badly need a progressive midfielder. And this is where we talk about Arsenal's needs. Look, forget about the Liverpool game. But these are our needs. Even when we play Burnley, even when we play Watford, we lack a progressive midfielder. And this is where I disagree with people who are always saying Xhaka should stay, Xhaka is doing well and things like that. He's a progressive midfielder, but it's not that good. He's not that good. If you compare him to the other players in the league, he's not that good. And I disagree with anyone who feels like Xhaka should stay. Right? He's a good player. Don't get me wrong. Good player. Did well with Borussia Mönchengladbach. But that Xhaka is not what we need as a progressive midfielder. No. We can't have Xhaka and Leicester City having Yuri Tillemans. No. Not good enough. Absolutely not good enough. Right? Absolutely not good enough. We can't have Xhaka and United have Paul Pogba. And then we want to chase Pogba. We want to chase United. You look at West Ham with Declan Rice in that midfield, and there is some good player there. You look at Spurs, the Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. We need decent midfielders. We need, because for me, games are won in the midfield. That's it. You win games in the midfield. The players we have, Smith Rowe, very good, Saka, very good on the wings. Can we now make the midfield make sense? Because look, it can't be like this. It really can't be like this. Xhaka is going to leave at some point in time, and however much I love Aziz, however much I love Charlie Patino, I don't want to see Arsenal fixing Charlie Patino there or Miguel Aziz. No. It's not yet there. So I feel like it's an opportunity. Very big opportunity for Renato. Lil will sell. Honestly, guys. Lil Mitripo will sell. It's a big mistake that we didn't go for Somare. We were linked with Somare all the time. I don't know why we didn't even try to put in competition when he was going to Leicester City. But Lil will sell, right? Lil will sell with the right amount of money on the table. I don't think Lil Mitripo will be like, we wanna defend the title. No, I don't think. So they cancel in January. They cancel in the summer. The question is, are we willing to beat our bids? Are we willing to place our bids on the table? If we can do that, absolutely. But of course, I would love to know, guys, between Frank Cossy and Renato, who would you go for? Would you go for Frank Cossy? Probably because Cossy is that kind of player that is a little bit so solid and maybe can bring out Thomas Partey. But for me, I've seen the maximum of Thomas Partey. I feel like it's better we bring someone who is actually better than Thomas Partey, in progressiveness, rather than bringing in someone that we think should be providing cover to Thomas Partey. I don't know if I'm wrong or I'm right, but that is what I think, right? That is what I think. So away from that, again. It's Jesse Lingard, but I would love to look at some of your comments. It looks like the sound is absolutely very, very poor. Good afternoon. How are you doing, Anu? Your voice is cracking. I'll fix my voice. Hakuna Matata says, my friend Cossy, Chelsea, top of the league. Yeah, I mean, Chelsea has got the quality to be there. Anu says, good afternoon, and some fans are disgusting. I'm really, really disappointed. And it's too bad for to attack our players. And he says Renato is okay, right? So let's talk about Jesse Lingard as well, and and Isak, right? So and then I'll go and fix my audio and probably come back at 9 p.m. when I know everything is fine. But to speak about Isak, another story has actually broken today about Alexander Isak, and the story is the Arsenal want to try to go for Isak in January, and they're saying that Isak is the priority. I've seen Football in London. They're saying Alexander Isak is the priority. I don't know how true this is. I don't know how true, because it's been a lot. It's been almost a fortnight of us speaking about Dusan Vlahovic and things like that. And now Isak is back in the news, right? As the priority. Of course, we've had so many priorities. It's like the priority. Calvert-Lewin is the priority, and a couple of other things. But one thing I'm going to say about Isak is it's not a January transfer window. It's not a January transfer move, right? However much I would love to see Arsenal get a striker in January, it's not a January transfer move. Absolutely. And then with Jesse Lingard, I feel like he has started to realize as a player that he's not going to get the game time at United. It's not about the manager for me. Lingard doesn't get straight in at United. That's it. West Ham want him. Arsenal are linked with him as well. Can he solve our problems? Short term. I feel like short term he can solve our problems. Long term is not the player we need. I wouldn't go for Jesse Lingard long term. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But short term, I'll definitely go for Jesse Lingard. So guys, I'm gonna go fix my audio, and then I'll speak to you, at 9 p.m.